It's November, Sand Run Travel Travelers, and we're here with a gorgeous weather that we're having at the beginning of November. Sure doesn't feel like it. We had a kind of a rocky August or September and October, but November
No-
seems to be kicking off pretty good.
November has started off just fine. It's been looking really well, but I think we're supposed to get some big wins today.
Yeah, we were out mulching leaves before the winds hit because we figure we'll get them all over the place in about a couple hours. But anyway, guys, we're here again. It's November. We've got our new format for the show. For about 5 years, we've been doing destinations and tours and trying to keep you abreast of everything that's been going on in places we'd like to see you go. Maybe you'd like to go too. But we thought for the next few months, we'd try to change up the format a little bit. And we're going to answer two or three questions about casinos every month and two or three questions about cruising. And then if you got any questions you'd like to ask about certain destinations that you'd like to go or you'd like to know about going to, send them in too. So hopefully you can contact Reggie on Facebook or Sand Run Travel on Facebook and send us your questions. But regardless, we will have a few every month to go through.
Yeah,
So
we've been doing a few questions just on our Facebook page and getting quite a good response from the people that have been jumping in and asking questions and making comments and giving us some other information, which kind of helped us formulate this idea of making this change to the program.
yeah, so yeah, we hope you enjoy it. We hope you participate. Now, as far as general tourist status, we've been trying to follow that for the last year, 2 years because of the pandemic. Most of the pandemic issues are now gone. Most cruise lines are not requiring vaccinations, but they will require unvaccinated. I'm not even sure if they have to show proof. They just have to take a test.
I
If you're
think they have to
vaccinated,
test at least before getting on the ship and showing that, or testing at the port in some cases.
yeah, in some cases. So check with your cruise lines because they're getting awfully lax right now. We understand it and we're grateful for it because a lot of our cruisers would like to go back and participate. So just check with your cruise line. There are still some locations like Bermuda, Turks and Caicos that still have special requirements that everybody is abiding by. Now, as far as the casinos providing comps, if you're going on a day trip, maybe during the week, the rivers might give you something. I know the Seneca casinos are going ahead with some things, but in general, if you live in Northeast Ohio, not a lot of comps going on.
Yeah, most casinos still are not accepting buses. They'll let a busload of people come in, but it's not through their bus programs because most of the bus programs just have not reopened.
Yeah. Yeah. The only ones that I really do know that are open are the rivers, and that's during the week for the most part,
Hmm.
and up to Seneca, Allegheny, and Seneca, Niagara.
Right.
Um, I would encourage, since it's very difficult for us to run a competitive tour, we may yet run one or two. But quite frankly, if there's a line run that you can jump on, if you're really desperate, go ahead and jump on it. Uh, Now, let's get into some casino questions. First one I ran across was kind of fun. I'm a beginner. What should I do in a casino? And yeah,
Some would say run in the opposite direction.
actually, I think that was one of the answers I saw. Run away. Uh, the primary answer I saw, and I guess I agree with it, was start with slot machines. They basically don't require any knowledge. You can sit and see if you enjoy the life and the action in a casino. Um, they're fairly lonely for me. I'm a real table player fanatic, uh, but most of our customers actually love slot machines.
And
Um,
and people that are playing slot machines tend to be more yeah, you said lonely. Yeah, they don't tend to talk a lot with each other, where people at the table games do tend to interact a lot more.
yeah, but it does give you a non knowledge based way to entertain yourself in a casino. If you find you don't like it, I'd encourage you to pick a game. Obviously, I'm partial to blackjack, Greg is partial to craps, and learn it before you go back to the casino. At least get some basic knowledge and
Yeah,
understand that all of us are there. If we'll help you, if you
right.
want to help and want to learn, most casinos have people at the tables or the dealer that'll help you understand what you're doing.
And a lot of casinos will run, especially during the day, earlier in the day, they will run classes to teach you how to play that particular game. I know they do a lot on the crap tables during the day when the tables aren't crowded, not busy. The dealers will be there to explain how it works. What do you need to do? Where do you place your bets? What the different people at the table are doing, things like that.
So, so yeah, just enjoy yourself, whatever way. Next question, which we get a lot, and I hear a lot with slot machines, does betting the max bet increase your odds of winning? The answer is unequivocally no. All slot machines are driven by mathematical algorithms that are adjusted almost daily, maybe even more than once a day. And that's how the payouts are determined. Betting a max doesn't increase your odds, but it does increase your payout quite a bit. Reg, you know more about that than I do.
And the payouts on some machines, the way they are structured is to get some of the extra bonuses, you have to be betting the max in
Oh,
order to
that's
get the
where, yeah.
bonus.
Okay.
Other machines, it doesn't matter. You can still get some of the bonuses. It's just going to be a lesser amount depending on how much you're betting at that particular time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Reg would know a lot more about slot machines than I would because I know he and Sharon go and partake more than Pat and I do. So so remember, if you want to get your max winnings, you bet the max. If you're just there to entertain yourself and get small winnings, and which is frequently what our players do, then you don't have to bet the max.
And if you just go with small winnings and you stay consistently winning small, you can walk out the door with a little bit of money in your pocket.
And that's the main thing we want to accomplish when we're in a casino. Walk
Yeah. Now,
out with more money than you walked in with.
right. So if you walk in the door with $100 in your pocket and you walk out with $125 in your pocket, you didn't win $200 because you got a big hit at the end and got a $200 hit. You won $25.
Yeah.
If you walk in the door with $100, you had a big hit, or whether you walk in the door with $500, you had a big hit at the end for 350. But when you look at your wallet, you got 150 in your pocket. You didn't win any money.
And just remember that, folks. Now, the last one I saw, and I'm going to restrict this from our definition to Las Vegas right now. And it is, what is your favorite casino and why? Rooms, food, table games, slot, entertainment, nearby activities, comps, etc. I would say right now in Las Vegas, I'd have to go with the Fremont. Now, I'm partial to that because the of the blackjack games they have, the rules they have on their double deck games, and the table limits. They don't mandate side bets on most of their games, They pay 3 to 2, and in reality, that's what I play. They also comp very well for almost all of their players. And you don't have to be a $50 a hand or $1 a throw slot player to get comp at the Fremont. With the Fremont, you're very close to the Golden Nugget, to the D, to Circa, to probably 6, 7, 8 casinos. Um, there are some reasons I like the Golden Nugget a little bit better from the staying standpoint when I'd like to stay there. But as far as playing conditions, I really like the Fremont. Reg, how about you?
Uh, well, as far as in Las Vegas, I really like the what they've done with the Circa, the new casino that
Oh,
they opened
really?
up
Good.
downtown. The especially they have some of the newer slot machines. Their floor is laid out pretty well. Uh, it's well lit. It's not walking into a dark casino where you don't know what time of day it is, whether it's daytime or nighttime, because all casinos kind of look the same, but some are darker than others when you walk into them. So I like the fact that it's more brightly painted and brightly lit than others. Um, I like the Golden Nugget also, but I've probably had my best gambling on the casinos on the cruise ships.
Oh, yeah. 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 But we'll cover them later. We'll cover them in another show.
Mhm.
Okay, so there you have it. Two distinct different types of casino, both of them giving you an enjoyable time for different reasons. And I've been down to the Circa, and it is a spectacular new casino. It really, really is. So there you go for our casino questions for today. Now we got some cruise questions, and we just had a meeting with someone who had not ever cruised, and their first question was, "What clothing should I pack?" Reg, you got any advice for him?
Uh, you when you get on the cruise ship, you are not going to be changing clothes twice a day in most cases. So you really don't need a whole big suitcase full of clothes. Usually, what you put on in the morning is what you'll have that evening, other than changing clothes to go to dinner, maybe, or go to a show.
Yeah.
Um, so you're going to be in shorts, t-shirts, tennis shoes, flip flops, sandals, um, the majority of the day. The
One of the
evening,
things,
you may change up. You put on some maybe a dress slacks, a nice shirt, go to dinner. Maybe you may still have on your tennis shoes. You might put on a pair of dress shoes. Just depend on your taste and what you feel like doing. Uh, and how well the person you're with is looking, so you don't want to look too bad when you're hanging out and take a picture with them.
one of the things I've learned to do, and I know all of us here have learned to do, is they put a little thought in the clothing combinations and take maybe two different base colors so that you can flip clothing back and forth. The airlines have restricted the weight limits on a lot of flights, and it's become quite a challenge to save some money on flights, have enough clothing to wear. But it takes a little challenging, a little thought. So, like Reg said, don't overpack. Ladies, I know this kills you with a lot of shoes, but that's probably the biggest thing for the ladies to watch out for. And
Yeah,
pack interchangeable clothing. Uh,
yeah, because the shoes when you're packing, that adds a lot of weight to your suitcase. And most airlines, their weight limit is somewhere between 35 and 50 pounds,
yeah,
depending on the airline.
yeah.
And if you've got one that you done packed your suitcase to the hilt going out, if you bought anything coming back home, you're already overweight.
Yeah. So that's our advice. Don't overpack. Uh, from a clothing standpoint, yeah, try to be as comparable to your partner as you can, and interchangeable. So That's our best solution. Next question that we always get is, do I need a passport? Simple answer, no. Complicated answer, you
Yes.
will need your birth certificate. And if you can't get a hold of that, then you need a passport. The question we're getting right now more and more is whether or not the passport card or universal driver's license will work. I have not seen it accepted on the cruise lines yet. We are going to be looking into that because we're getting more and more questions about that. But if you travel frequently out of the country, you are eventually, I believe, going to need a passport. I do know if you travel with Virgin Voyages, the birth certificate is not acceptable. Now, when I say birth certificate, that's only if you're traveling from a U.S. port and returning to a U.S. port. If you're traveling like one cruise we were looking at from Boston to Montreal, you must have a passport. So that birth certificate scenario is only US to US. And sooner or later, you are going to need a passport. I strongly recommend getting one.
Yeah, and it'll take you approximately 90 days or so from the
Yeah.
time you apply to the time you've got the passport in your hand.
Yeah. Then the last question is much more of an interesting one. How much cash should I take? And this came up when we were reviewing this with a customer, because if you're on a cruise, the only place on the cruise that you will use cash is in the casino. Other than that, everything you do on a cruise is charged to your room.
Other than when you get in port and you're on land.
Right. And I recommend nominal cash there for
Yeah,
bartering and negotiating. But
right.
if you're going to do any major shopping and you're not in the country, a credit card really is your safest alternative.
Gives you some
Gives you
better options.
leverage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it gives you leverage, gives you the best conversion rate. In the old days, they used to charge for the conversion. I don't see much of that going on anymore. There still may be some credit card companies that do it. I don't know about you. Have you noticed any of that, Reg?
Not really, no.
Oh, it gives you a safer way to go. So, other than the cash that you might spend in a casino, I would not recommend an awful lot of cash. You'll need it for maybe the travel to and from
Yeah,
and port.
the time you're spending in the airport, traveling, tips for bailmen, things like that, cab drivers, um, food that the meals that you may have, and then you could even use your credit cards for those things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you, I mean, having a pocket full of cash isn't necessarily to your advantage.
No, no, I don't see it either. And given some of the locations you are, you might be more inclined to entice pickpockets if they notice you pulling a wad of cash out. So,
Right. And if you've got more cash in your pocket and you're standing in the casino, you're probably a little more likely to play that max bet a little bit more frequently. That could
okay,
cost you.
okay. Hey, Reg, that brings up a question that I did have regarding casinos, slot machines on casinos. Can you use cash in a slot machine on a casino, or must you use your card?
On the cruise ship,
Yeah.
you can use cash, or you can put your room card in and bill it to your room, and they'll load the machine that way. You can do
One of
either
our
way.
next shows, maybe we'll explore how you do some of this stuff in the cruise casinos. That brings us to, we still have time and there's still room on our Panama Canal cruise. Uh, I know the cutoff for final payments are like tomorrow, but I've noticed that cabins are still available. Any of you out there that still would like to jump on with us, we have a nice little group going and go partial do a little bit of a bucket list tour and see the Panama Canal as well as the rainforest and the stingrays and Grand Cayman. Jump on. We'd love to have you.
Should be a lot of fun. And winter is it's coming. We're still in the fall. The leaves are still falling out the trees, but The next thing that's going to be falling is this thing called snow.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Okay, hey, listen, we had over 300 or 800. I can't remember. Did you say 300 or 800 people this?
I think it was like 800 people that made that had made some kind of action, either liked our page, made a comment, did something to let us know they were there.
Then give me number 38. Look up.
Number 38 is Lorraine Jacinti.
Wow, Jacinta, Lorraine Jacinta. Welcome to the Sand Run Travel Gift Certificate Club. If you get a hold of Reggie after you watch this video and tell him you saw your name come up, we will gladly send you a $25 Sand Run Travel Gift Certificate.
And that gift certificate can be used on any Sand Run travel event, whether it be land based or cruise based.
So keep watching, folks, and send us your questions, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. Reg, got any final thoughts today?
Final thoughts is again, if you are on Facebook, please go to the Sand Run Travel page, like our page, so that you can see any new posts and where we're headed next to see if there's a destination we have that you may want to join us on. We also want you to make sure you're staying safe. COVID is under control to a point, but it has not disappeared. It is still there. It
Yeah.
is still alive and well, and we want everyone to stay as safe as possible. So do what you need to do to keep yourself safe and healthy, because travel without you isn't travel.
Isn't that the truth? So until December, folks, have safe travels, stay healthy, and so long from Reg and I today.
Take care. Have a great day.